Hello everyone, my name is Professor O'Keefe or Mrs. O'Keefe and I will be the instructor for this class. So each week I will be recording a short video that just goes over the information in the module. Often students have questions after looking at the module content, and then after they watch this video, I generally answer the questions that they might have. So I'll also be giving you some tips for completing some of the assignments. So make sure that you watch these videos each week. They're real short, but they're a way for me to communicate with you a little bit better, and for me to provide for you additional information that you won't get just by looking at those assignments. So real quick, this is what the page looks like when you get into the class. And so as you can see, this is our home page, and then there are to-do assignments on the side. What I want you to make sure that you are not doing in this class is just clicking on the assignments and completing them based on the instructions attached to that specific assignment. Everything that you need for this class is actually in the modules. So there are a couple of places that you're going to go. Announcements, most recent announcements should show up right here as soon as I get that fixed. But then and I do post announcements every week as well, usually reminders, due dates, that kind of thing. And then the syllabus information is right here as well. And so you make sure that you look at the syllabus, look at all the policies. This class will be different from your other classes, so make sure that you are accessing the course syllabus. That should be the first thing that you do. And then the course at a glance. Course at a glance is just a document that lists all of the assignments for the class, as well as due dates and the outcomes that we are trying to meet by using that assignment. And so you can kind of see why we are doing all of these assignments. So that's a really important document. I like to print mine off and just have it next to me so that I can kind of keep a checklist of which assignments I have completed. In the announcements, I have right now just a kind of a navigation information. If you're new to Canvas, this will help you out a little bit with what the buttons on the side do. And then also on the home page, I do want to point out that my contact information is down here. It's also on the syllabus. I am a remote instructor this year because they closed the Burlingame campus. So I am a full-time instructor, but I am working remotely. And so the way to get a hold of me, you can call the Iola campus if you want to, but email is the best way to get a hold of me. And then I have my cell number on here if you want to text me. If you call my cell, I won't answer it because I don't usually answer phone numbers I don't recognize. But I also have some Zoom open office hours that I'll have Mondays and Fridays, just 1 hour. I'll open up the Zoom session and just leave it open, and you're welcome to join. If you have any questions at all, you'll be able to see that. A couple of other things on the side. BrainFuse online tutoring, I will be doing a tutorial on that later, but that is the way that you're going to access the online writing lab. And then you'll get into the modules. So the modules, you have this Getting Started module, which shows up in all of our online classes. And so you may have seen it before, but if you are new to Allen, you want to make sure that you go through this. Most important thing that you need to do right away is get your textbooks. If you have not gotten your textbooks, the information for how to do that is in this Getting Started module. So make sure that you're getting your textbooks immediately. You do need them for the first module. So this first module is just an overview of the class, looking at the syllabus and the course at a glance, and then getting into a couple of introductory assignments. These might feel familiar to you from other classes. We are just doing a standard introduction discussion board. I know not all students like that, but it really helps me when I'm trying to figure out which student is from which class and that kind of thing. It helps me just get to know you a little bit better and helps me remember you when I go to grade your assignments. And then you're also going to do this welcome email assignment where you can email me either from your Allen email or from the Canvas inbox, which is over here. You can use Canvas if you want to. I would prefer that over a personal email just because I want you to get used to using your Allen resources to communicate. That's a very important part of going to any college, university, is making sure that you're regularly checking your student email. And so there's a lot of communication happens there that students miss out on. So the information for checking your email is in that Getting Started module, and then you're just going to answer these 4 questions. My main interest in asking them is how much do you know about mythology already? Because this is one of those classes where some students come in and they know pretty much nothing. They may have heard references to gods or goddesses or something like that, but they really don't know much about mythology. And then I've had other students who've had whole classes on it before, or they've read extensively or that kind of thing. So there is a chance that, you might know more than I do about mythology in this class. So I'm just interested in what you know already, and then have a goal for the semester, and then tell me something that that will help me understand you a little bit better as a student or a writer. So if you struggle with dyslexia or something like that, that might be something to put down. If you have, 3 full-time jobs or something like that, hopefully you don't, 3 jobs or something like that, then that will just help me to understand. I have some students who they can't do any work on any classes until the weekend because of their job situation or their family situation. So stuff like that helps me to understand your situation a little bit better. So also in this module is the introduction discussion board. It's pretty standard. And then we have an academic dishonesty quiz. Academic honesty information is right here. And so you'll just go through it. And it's just scenarios of what academic dishonesty is considered. Main thing I want to point out here is that it is considered academically dishonest to use an AI program to generate your writing. This is a literature writing course, so we are not just it's not like theology or something like that. It's in the literatures, which means that you are doing a couple of essays in this class. Really important that you are doing your own work. Anything considered plagiarism, anything using an AI generator, all of that will equal a 0 on your work. So make sure that you are doing your own work in this class. And then also reusing work from another class. You cannot just reuse a paper that you've written for another instructor. So there are different scenarios here, and then when you're done, you want to make sure that you mark it as done so that I can see that you have read through that. And then of course we have a quiz over that information. So this is just the start of the class. The main thing that is the introduction to the content is under readings and resources, and that is just to read chapter 1, the nature of myth. And that gives us a lot of the foundations of terminology and discussion of mythology that are really important for understanding the rest of the class. So you want to make sure that you're getting that first chapter read as well. This class has 16 modules, 16 weeks, so you'll be doing 1 module per week. And so what you see right now is just this first introductory stuff. Should not take you very long to complete, but I've tried to spread out the readings a little bit so that you don't feel so overwhelmed. We have 2 textbooks for the class, and it's really important that you get them, first of all, get them right away. This one right here, Classical Myth, a lot of students find this difficult to read. It is very academic. A lot of colleges use it for like their upper level mythology classes, and so it goes into a lot more detail than you probably ever wanted to know about some of these myths. So just keep that in mind. This one might take you a little bit longer to get through, and so you might find yourself taking more notes. When I do the instruction, the tutorial on our BrainFuse tutoring program it's new this semester, I will show you a way that you can help yourself remember stuff from this book. The other book is called Nordic Gods and Heroes. We will not get to this book until the middle of the semester when we start the Norse gods, the Norse pantheon. That will be in module 9, I believe. And so it's half Greek, and then the other half is Norse and world. And so this one in particular, this one reads like a storybook. So if you've ever read the Grimm's fairy tales, you'll notice very similar line of thoughts and narrative as you read through it. And so students find that more enjoyable to read, but it does not have a lot of the like the appendix and the glossary and definitions of terms and things like that that our other textbook does. And so that can be frustrating for some students when they can't keep track of characters or they have a hard time following the story. So just kind of keep that in mind. We have two very different textbooks that we'll be reading, using at 2 different times in the semester. So that is just an introduction to Module 1. If you have any questions, you can absolutely send me an email at any point, and I usually get back to students fairly quickly. And I hope you have a great week.